Hi, my name is Morten, and in this video we will be talking about payment methods in Ucommerce. Payment methods is the ability to collect money for the products that you are selling on your webshop. A payment method can both be an invoice, account payment, or a credit card payment based on what you need. So let's take a look at how you can actually maintain payment methods in the back office of Ucommerce. So in the navigation tree to the left over here, you can expand settings and orders and go into payment methods. Here you will see the already created payment options in the platform. If you don't need those, you can of course just get rid of them and create your own. So let's try to set up one from scratch just so you can see what kind of configuration options you have for a payment method. So by clicking on the payment methods, I can now click create, and here I give it a name that identifies the payment option for me. That could, for example, be credit card payment. So this will not be surfaced in the UI. Your users will see something different that makes sense for them. So there's different things that you can create for your payment method here. So the service is the integrations that Ucommerce have out of the box for online credit card payment providers. Usually you don't want to handle that on your own webshop because it requires a certain level of PCI compliance. Instead, you can redirect your users to a separate website that then collects the money on behalf of your webshop, which requires a slightly less complicated setup. In Ucommerce, we ship a bunch of them out of the box, the most popular ones that exist on the market. But if you see one you want to use that are not here in this list, then you can have either you can do it yourself or you can ask a separate developer to create an integration for Ucommerce and your payment gateway of choice. It will be possible to add that in as an agency working with Ucommerce. Besides that, you need to select a pipeline. In most situations, when your users are checking out on a regular checkout flow, you just select the checkout pipeline. Pipelines are a technical concept which allows you to execute custom business logic when the user checks out. So as a store manager, you're probably not interested in this particular configuration, just that checkout should be the one that you use. For other complicated scenarios where you need some very custom stuff depending on the payment option you choose, this can be relevant, but in most situations it's just the checkout pipeline you select here. You can assign it an image if you want to present one for your customer. And you can also enable and disable this as you see fit. Once you select a service here, that could be Alien or something else, it could also be PayPal. You need to save it up, and then you will see some additional configuration option based on the service you have selected. So that's typically information like what are the APIs, username and password when calling the actual API, if it's a sandbox mode, return pages, and so on and so forth. This is a typical developer that sets this up once, and then it will just work throughout the rest of your webshop's lifetime unless you change your gateway in the span of the lifetime. So under access, you can now set what are the users that will be able to use this option when they purchase. Maybe you just have a single payment option and then the user don't need to select one. In that case, you can skip the the check on the storefront and have your developers hard coding what option to use. But otherwise, if you have multiple ones and your users need to select, and you are running a multi-channel solution, then you can limit the payment options based on store and also on country. And countries are basically a hard-coded list here in the back office that allows you to narrow down who your customers are actually coming from, where they're coming from, what country. If you sell to the entire world, then you probably want to import these countries here, but they can be maintained in the back office if you need to. For the pricing tab, this is the fee that are associated with using that particular payment option. So maybe you want to add in 3 or 4% based on the order total if they pay by invoice. Maybe you want to have the fee on the payment option resemble the credit card fee if you don't want the users to pay for that. Then that could be an option to set a fee. And you can also combine it with a fixed price. So if you say a fixed price of 10 here and then set 10% as the payment fee, then those two will be added together. So you can use one or the other or both if you want to. Besides that, you can give it a display name, which is basically just what the user will see on the storefront when they select the actual payment option once they go through the checkout flow. Once all of this is set up, you will now be able to collect money on the products that you sell on your storefront. So that's it for payment methods. I hope you enjoyed the video. See you in the next one.